Each variable speed pump that we install has a self-priming feature. It's automatic. It can be disabled in both the SuperFlow variable speed and the IntelliFlow variable speed, though we do not recommend it. The priming feature allows you to control the speed and the amount of time that it runs to prime the pump. My suggestion is to leave it at the default settings of running full speed in order to properly prime the pump. When the pump primes, it causes a drop in barometric pressure inside the pump, thus drawing water to it. If it is not running a high speed or possibly not running long enough to do so, it may be unable to prime the pump. Another thing to remember about the IntelliFlow pump is that if it runs too long without pulling water and creating a suction vacuum, it may shut off. If it does so, look at the back of the control on the pump. We have a red flashing alarm light, and our alarm says that it's attempting to prime dry. My suggestion is to press the reset button, and if you need to, put water in the pump, close the lid, and then restart the process. When your IntelliFlow variable speed pump is fully primed, it will automatically go back to the speed that it is programmed to run. The SuperFlow variable speed, however, will run a duration of 5 minutes and then go back to the program speed that it is supposed to run. During normal operation, once it's fully primed, you may notice with the IntelliFlow variable speed a little bit of air trapped in the top of the lid. This is normal due to the shape and design of the lid. Over time, it will pull all of it out. One thing I would like to mention is that if you have an ozone sanitizer, it's attached to the side of the pump right here, and its purpose is to inject O3 or ozone into the filter pump. Now, because of this, you will see some air bubbles inside your pump. This is perfectly normal operation. When you open your pump lid to empty out the basket, you are going to lose your prime. All of the water is going to backtrack back down your plumbing, back into your pool. One thing I'd like to show you is to close your valves, your main drain and your skimmer valve with the pump turned off first, then open the pump lid, and it will keep the water right here, right behind this valve, so it makes it far easier for the pump to catch prime and not throw the alarm of priming dry. We recommend that you empty your pump basket weekly during routine pool maintenance to empty out any debris that may be in there. Now, you may not be able to get it completely spotless, that's okay. The object of this basket is to catch the larger debris, which could potentially clog it up and cause issues with pump operation. There's one direction that this basket is meant to go into the pool pump. This opening lines up with the front of the pump from where the water comes in, and it will seat correctly only when it's placed in the correct position. When putting the lid back on the pump, we suggest that you make sure that the O-ring meant to seal is clean. You can see on this one that there's a little bit of dirt there, which could create a vacuum problem, allowing it to pull in air and not fully prime. So what we want to do is we want to clean this one up a little bit simply by rinsing it off. Ensuring that the O-ring is clean before placing it back on the pump will ensure a good seal and to prevent air leaks into the pump. We also want to make sure that there's no debris, dirt, or anything like that that's around the top of the pump where the lid's going to go. Now that this is clean and our O-ring is clean, we're going to replace the lid, ensuring that the gasket stays in place. We want to tighten, but not over tighten. Over tightening the lid will compress the O-ring and eventually cause air leaks and the O-ring needing to be replaced. Now that we have our pump basket clean and our lid back on, we're ready to restart the pump. We need to reopen our valves before restarting the pump, or we will starve it for water and it will not be able to circulate. So be sure that you open the valves before restarting the pump. Now we're ready to restart the pump. When it begins to prime, it should be able to do so much easier since we kept the water right here.